Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. To keep this podcast free, we're partnering with Stoke Seeds. Pre-plan your indoor seed starting program today with the help of Stoke's 2018 Gardening Guide and their online articles. Whether you're adding texture through foliage, choosing a new variety for a splash of color, developing an existing garden, or starting from scratch, Stoke Seeds has some great catalog and online resources to help you through the process. More than just a listing of vegetable and flower seeds, the Stoke Seeds website is a complete resource center with valuable information on seed starting, planting, and harvesting, plus all the gardening accessories you need to make your garden the envy of the neighborhood. Get growing with Stokes. Now, today's question. This time of year, you look for color wherever you can find it.
That's right.
And I know that you like those little cacti sitting on your windowsill.
I do. I guess I am just plain plant-oriented. Now, I don't live and die by them per se. I do have other interests, but I like color. I like motion. I like, let's just say the balance of things in space. Some people's walls are plain. Mine are anything but. I had a person walk in my home one time. What is this, museum? No, it's not. But I like to have things happening. And in the wintertime, where the cat doesn't even have fleas, there's not much happening in the house. So I like to mess around. And I have never done it. But you can buy at any number of stores this time of year cacti that have been grafted. They will change shapes of them from, barrel to upright. There'll be various colors grafted together and so on. And just as a matter of interest, and I guess if you glance at the plant once a week and it's growing well, you will see some modest little change if you look close enough. Don't reach over to touch it with your finger because your finger is much more tender than the end of those little spines.
Blood is colorful.
The blood is colorful, yes.
Correct, yes.
Indeed it is. And that isn't what bothers me. The immediate blood, I can just kind of ignore. It's if that little tip breaks off and festers in my finger. Yeah. That's the problem. But they are not hard to handle, especially if you handle them by the pot. The color, shapes, sizes, and natures. And then I have been in several homes over time where people have had good luck with them, water them properly, keep them in the sun, so on. And they've gotten bigger and still grafted, still interesting, and so on. It's just, I don't know, it's just something to happen indoors. And then the one thing we always talk about or think about watering plants based on their needs. And most, I'm going to bet, and I would bet a significant amount of money that more cacti are killed from too much water than too little.
Yeah.
They plant them in sand for a reason. The roots are fine. They infiltrate the sand. When there is water, it's absorbed into the inner structure of the cacti, which is their claim to fame. And then they can go, I'm going to say literally a long time. I have a little tiny cacti, whichever, size of my thumb at the very greatest. And I've had it probably 4 years, sits up on a second level windowsill where it's easy to forget it from time to time. And when it shrinks, and that's what my clue is, that means that the amount of water inside has gotten desperately low. I will set a saucer with just a little water in it in the sink, set the pot and all right down in the water, walk away for anywhere up to a half a day, let it be totally absorbed into the sand, into the roots, and then overall into the plant. And then it goes back into drought again. I suppose I'm safe in saying that I would water it on an average of every 3.5, 4 weeks, especially this time of year where there is no growth happening. Therefore, the need for water, for all intents and purposes, down some. But they're fun to have. They lighten and brighten, especially when you have luck enough to have them a couple of years, because they're compatible as a graft is concerned. But I've seen the darndest shapes develop because of the graft, not incompatibility, but the one kind of overriding, getting bigger than the other, and so on. It's just fun. Like I say, this time of year when not even the cat has fleas, there's nothing else happening. So you want something to have fun with.
Thanks again for listening to the podcast. Remember, pre-plan your indoor seed starting program with the help of Stokes Gardening Guide and their online resources. And request your free catalog while you're online. For the best selection of vegetable, flower, and herb seeds available, go to stokeseeds.com. Cultivating successful growers for generations.